Live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime studio. The International Monetary Fund or the IMF has actually echoed what K.V. Subramaniam, the former CA, writes in his book Bharat at 100 and claims that Bharat has the potential to grow into a 55 trillion economy by 2047 if both the state and central governments together enact policies to elevate the nation's growth rate from its historical average of 7% to 8%. iPhone contract manufacturer Foxconn's business in Bharat grows to over $10 billion till 2024, and according to the company, Foxconn has invested $1.4 billion in Bharat till date. CEO Young Liu has said that they will together grow along with India's growth or Bharat's growth, and they are planning mega investments in some of the southern states. Now, Food Regulator and Food Safety and Standards Authority of India has launched an innovative project to address the growing concern of microplastic contamination in food. Here on CNN News 18 on The Breakfast Club, we have dived into this story. The initiative aims to develop standardized methods for detecting microplastics in various food products and assess their prevalence in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi celebrated the auspicious occasion of Raksha Bandhan with school children at his residence. The school children greeted the Prime Minister with smiles and tied the sacred Raksha Sutra to him.
लाई बहन आज फूली ना संभाई राखी रोली और मिठाई सबसे थाली खूब सजाई बांधे भाई की कलाई पर धागा भाई से बहन लेती है वादा राखी की लाज भैया निभाना बहन को कभी भूल ना जाना।
बहुत शुभकामनाएं, बहुत आशीर्वाद बेटा। सभी देशवासियों को रक्षाबंधन की शुभकामनाएं।
आप बहुत अच्छे।
क्या फोटो है ये?
एक पेड़ बाके नाम।
अच्छा, बहुत बढ़िया बना है तूने।
मुझे आपको हक करने का।
आओ बेटा।
And Union Minister Shri Piyush Goyal celebrated Raksha Bandhan with women who've got citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Act, and this was in the national capital. He further said that the Citizenship Amendment Act would provide safety and security to nationals who have migrated from neighbouring nations. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's set up story number one or debate number one on the right stand this Monday evening. The rape and murder of a junior doctor at the RG Kaur Medical College continues to haunt the Mamata Banerjee-led government in the state. Now, on the auspicious day of Raksha Bandhan, it's become an instrument of protest. Using the hashtag Abhaya Ka Bhai, the doctors on strike tied black rakhis as a mark of their agitation against the rape and murder, allegedly, of a postgraduate trainee doctor at RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata. Now, remember, even though the CBI is now investigating the case, the state faces questions over how the case was handled initially. The top court of the country has taken suo motu cognizance of the rape and murder of a doctor at the RG Kaur Medical College and Hospital in Kolkata, and a bench led by the Chief Justice, D.Y. Chandrachud himself, will hear the matter on Tuesday. CNN News 18 also spoke with several students from the college who, because of the undue pressure by the former principal and his coterie, have revealed that they were pushed to even attempting suicide. What's even more shocking is that the Kolkata police now have summoned two highly qualified and veteran doctors known for their practice and their service to society, Dr. Sarkar and Dr. Goswami, because they joined the protest and for allegedly spreading misinformation. All this comes at a time when the Chief Minister of the state faces questions from within her own party. Many allege in whispers that the tall leader is aware that there has been a brazen attempt to shield the accused. Is the state picking patronage above its Betis? In a twist of irony, as the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee led protests demanding justice for the rape and murder of a 31-year-old trainee doctor at this Kolkata hospital, other demonstrators have been arrested amid the ongoing unrest in the state for protesting or joining the protest. The Kolkata police has gone on an arrest beat to suppress protests against this entire matter, as over 1,000 people have been served notices by the police for allegedly spreading misinformation and revealing the identity of the victim. Now, let's take you through some of these cases. First, notice to Dr. Kunal Sarkar. The reason, alleged hurried post-mortem and cremation. That's what he has alleged on his post. and that's why a notice has been served. Dr. Subarna Goswami, reason decoded is he decoded the post-mortem report for the media and has hinted at multiple counts of sexual assault on the victim, gang rape. The notice to Sukhendu Shekhar, Trinamool Congress Rajya Sabha MP. Reason he asked the CBI to question the Kolkata Commissioner of Police, Vineet Goyal itself. Notice to Lockett Chatterjee, BJP. Reason allegedly revealed rape and murder victims' actual identity. Notice to the SFI and DYFI leaders. Reason allegedly involved in violence at the hospital, and notice to 7 CPM leaders because they allegedly were involved in the vandalism that occurred at the RG Kar Medical Hospital's emergency ward. Meanwhile, the victim's father has slammed Mamata Banerjee government and their alleged attempt to silence those demanding justice for his daughter. The father also questioned the immediate cremation of his daughter after the autopsy, raising doubts about the possibility of evidence destruction. Now, here are the charges levelled by the victim's father. First charge, daughter cremated in haste. The second charge, entire department involved in a conspiracy. Third charge, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee trying to stop the protest. The fourth charge, college and department is uncooperative. The fifth charge, police tried to close the matter in a hurry. Soon after the parents' allegation over hurried cremation of their daughter, the crematorium staff has made a very explosive revelation here on CNN News 18. The staff says there was heavy force deployment when the body arrived. 2 bodies are waiting to be cremated, but the cops insisted, Jaldi karo, cremate the victim first. The cops cited law and order issues. The cops also said that the body may decompose. There were nail marks on the victim's face which were visible, says the person who spoke with us, and he's on record, the crematorium staff. Now, as the state government is facing fire from all sides, questions of a cover-up attempt and complicity haunt the administration, and the recent decisions by the government and the police have only made matters worse. The Trinamool Congress itself is a divided house with some of its own netas who don't seem convinced with the defense of the state government. Party MP Sukhendu Shekhar Rao in a social media post has demanded that the CBI undertake custodial interrogation of the Kolkata Police Commissioner and the previous principal of the RG Kar Medical College. And that's invited summons from the cops. And he's been called for questioning today, which prompted him to move the Kolkata High Court and seek anticipatory bail. Imagine someone who's a Rajya Sabha MP of the government of the Trinamool has gone against the government to the Kolkata High Court to seek anticipatory bail. Former Trinamool Congress MP Shantanu Sen criticized the principal of Kolkata's RG Kar Medical College, and he was sacked as the party spokesperson. And he had claimed that some people are not giving the right picture to the Chief Minister about what's happening in the health department itself. So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Pradeep Bhandari, BJP national spokesperson with us, Tausif Khan, advocate and political analyst with me. Can you believe what's going on, Tausif? Trinamool Congress MP has approached the Kolkata High Court seeking protection from the Kolkata police, and this is happening in Kolkata.
That's right, Anand. Something is amiss, just like the High Court had made this observation in the very first hearing when the matter was taken up. Therefore, the least that the system and the government can do for the victim is to tell the truth. Although Kolkata police is not investigating this matter anymore, the ball is now in the court of CBI. The CBI must answer this question, irrespective of fact whether it is controlled by BJP or whether BJP would want to drag this matter for political reason. The CBI must not give in to the political pressure, and the CBI must tell what is the truth. Because you remember, Anand, Kolkata police had already arrested the main accused, so to say, within 12 hours of the incident was reported, and had summoned 34 people, and the investigation was going on. And Mamata Banerjee had sought 5 more days to allow the Kolkata police to complete the investigation. In that backdrop, the investigation was handed over to CBI, and the Mamata Banerjee did not protest. She said, all right, if the parents want, if there's a huge demand, and the doctors were protesting, it was affecting the administration of the hospital. There were other patients in the hospital who were getting affected. In fact, the protest outside the hospital caused death of patients inside the hospital. So there was tremendous pressure, and Mamata Banerjee never opposed CBI investigation. When the High Court handed the investigation to CBI, now this Mamata Banerjee has raised a very valid demand, and that is a time-bound investigation by the CBI. just like Mamata Banerjee had given an ultimatum to Kolkata police to crack the case within another 4 days, the CBI has this case from last 5-6 days. What progress has CBI made? All these theories are doing round. Even the family has alleged that it is a case of gang rape. There's an attempt to destroy the evidence. What is the finding of CBI? We all want to know the truth. I stand with each and every protesters. The Mamata Banerjee stands with the protesters, because in order to give justice, we must first unearth the truth. But this is no time for any political party like BJP to play politics, to try and take benefit of this situation and topple the government. There's a demand raised to kill Mamata Banerjee, to assassinate Mamata Banerjee. There's a demand made by the woman.
No. Well, there is what your own Udayan Guha has turned around and said. Do you know the comments made by some of the Trinamool Congress leaders themselves? Tausif, you're an upright man, and I know you well, and you would somebody who would like to be proud of your own personal integrity. But sometimes I believe that there should not be an attempt to defend the indefensible. Touch your heart and say, and I'll show you some visuals before Pradeep Bhandari speaks. Have a look at these visuals. This is East Bengal and Mohun Bagan fans. Can we just have those visuals of the East Bengal and Mohun Bagan fans? They have joined flags and they are protesting together. You live in Kolkata. You live in Kolkata. You know in Bengal what the history of East Bengal and Mohun Bagan is. Nothing will bring them together and get them together. This incident has, Tausif. And for you or anybody else to look away from this, that means that you are not only blindfolded, you are blindfolded, and then you put a mask and a shield and a hoodie over you so that you can't see anything at all other than here and this. So it's not about see no evil, hear no evil, say no evil. It's about see nothing, say nothing, talk nothing. That's what it is. If you cannot appreciate the weight, if you cannot appreciate the weight of this visual, sir, every person who knows the history of Bengal and every Bengali will know this. And the other thing, sir, tell me, when is it that the middle class and the poor people and the upper middle, not the urban elite, but the middle class, the lower middle class, the villagers, stepped out in unison like they have done this time around. You have to see around you.
Absolutely.
To try and then and if you are aware of these pictures, sir, then I would only request you to reflect on your words over the last 3.5 minutes. Pradeep Bhandari.
Anand, the fact that everybody in Bengal except Trinamool Congress believes that the accused arrested by the Calcutta police was not the main accused is the result that they are on the streets demanding for a free and fair probe and asking for justice. Let me begin this argument by exactly quoting verbatim what the victims' parents have said, and I quote, "No results had come out from the inquiry being done by the Calcutta police. No one from the department or the college cooperated with us. The entire department is involved in this. There were 3 bodies at the crematorium, but our daughter's body was cremated first. The chief minister is talking about providing justice, but then attempts are being made to put the common people demanding justice in jail. We are not satisfied with the chief minister. We have refused to take the compensation." The victims' parents believe that the chief minister and entire administration were not interested in justice, but were interested in shielding the main accused. And then what are the facts of the matter? The fact is that the Calcutta police registered a case of unnatural death despite the complainant being present. The fact is that Calcutta police initially believed and made the victims believe that it's a case of suicide, but the victims' parents did not agree to. The fact of the matter, Anand, is that the Calcutta police were focused on convincing the victim to take some monetary compensation. The fact of the matter is that the Calcutta police denied victims' parents to see the body of the victim for 3 hours consecutively being in the hospital. hospital. The fact of the matter, Anand, is that Calcutta High Court itself has taken cognizance and agreed that there was state of law and order machinery and Bengal had collapsed. And the fact of the matter is, Anand, on the day the CBI took over the investigation, there was a group of vandalized mob which had run over toward these RG Kar Medical College with the intention to destroy the evidence. If Mamata Banerjee was extremely careful, caring about justice, the initial 48 hours, which are golden period of investigation, the focus would have been to seal the crime scene. The focus would have been to cooperate with the CBI, not to ensure and conspire that a situation arises where the RG Kar Medical College is attacked. My point is, Anand, and it's a very simple point. Please tell me, if the people of Bengal believe in what Tausif is saying, why is Section 144 imposed? Why are lathi charge happening on the women of Bengal? Why is the Bengal police not allowing the football match to go forward? Because they fear that all of them will demand justice. And at this moment, Anand, and my final and conclusive argument is that he is asking what has happened in the CBI investigation. The main accused, which they believe are the main accused, everybody believes is not the main accused. The principal, who was not questioned, who was in fact promoted and reinstated, the CBI has questioned that individual not once but twice. But my fear is, Anand, and it's a genuine fear, because the initial 48 hours of the investigation and crime scene have been trampled with, which is what the Calcutta High Court has also acknowledged, it might take some time. But the question I'm asking is, why is Mamata Banerjee imposing Section 144? Why is Mamata Banerjee not answering that the victims do not believe that with she continuing to be the Chief Minister, justice will be provided? So at this moment, this is why the Bharatiya Janata Party is asking for the resignation of the Chief Minister, not as a political demand, but as a call of the victims' parents.
See, the same person is the Chief Minister, the Health Minister,
yes,
and the Home Minister of the state,
yes,
Tausif.
and protesting against herself.
Yeah, and she's very well within her rights to take out a protest in support of the victim. But the actions of the police under her, because she's the Home Minister, in the first 48 hours are highly questionable, yes, and suspect. The other aspect, the parents have confirmed around 10:53 p.m. as Pradeep was saying, they received a call, but they were allowed to see the mortal remains of their daughter only around 3 a.m. Why?
Anand,
and also dressed up and put and given in a situation as if to allege that she has taken her own life. It was first peddled as suicide, whereas we heard the person at the crematorium who said that she had nail and scratch marks on her face. Now, don't you find that abhorrent and appalling?
Anand, post-mortem was conducted in the presence of family members and under video recording, and post-mortem has recorded all the bodily injury on the victim. There is no denial to that. So people must refrain from spreading any rumor.
No, if that was the case, then why was it pushed as a suicide? Is it a rumor that they first tried to allege it's a suicide?
Now let me come to this question which is raised again and again, that a case of unnatural death was registered initially. You see, it's a legal procedure. If the complaint is not lodged and an inquest has to start, then the police will register a case of unnatural death, and a case of unnatural death also includes murder and rape. And in this case, after post-mortem report, an FIR was lodged in Tala station, and that FIR was lodged for rape and murder case. Therefore, please, people must refrain from spreading rumor that Kolkata police Kolkata police had registered a case of suicide. No, a case of suicide was never registered. An inquest is started with the case of unnatural death, because that is the process. If there is no complaint lodged, and then there's a valid question that why the hospital authorities did not lodge a complaint. And I stand by that they must have lodged a complaint. But where is the lacuna of Kolkata police when they initiated a case by registering and then initiated an inquest by registering a case of unnatural death? You cannot hold Kolkata police responsible for that. Yes, now CBI is investigating this matter, and CBI must unearth what transpired in the first few hours on that day in the hospital. If there was any attempt made by any of the college authorities or by any of the Kolkata police officers, then all of them are equally guilty in my eyes, and in eyes of the family members, and in eyes of each of the protesters. And I demand And just like anybody, any prudent person will demand that this angle must be probed, since it is being handled by BJP.
Pradeep, respond.
Anand, I believe that what he's saying is not true, and I'll quote the Calcutta High Court. The filing of an unnatural death case has raised suspicion, and the Calcutta High Court has pulled up the hospital administration for not registering a complaint. So the fact which he is saying that it's a process of law to register a case of unnatural death is not true. The Calcutta High Court has commented on it during the time of the hearing. Now he is speaking and saying that the victims believe in Calcutta High Court's probe. I did not interrupt you. Please listen to me. Thank you. I did not interrupt you, Tawseef. I am quoting the Calcutta High Court. Tawseef, I am showing you the Calcutta High Court judgment. I am showing you, Tawseef, the Calcutta High Court judgment. Open the judgment. Open the observation of the Calcutta High Court, and I read.
Never held Kolkata police responsible for registering
the filing of an unnatural death case has raised suspicion, and the Calcutta High Court has pulled up the hospital administration for not registering a complaint. So do not justify an unnatural death, and please let me quote the victim. Tawseef, do not take my time. You are not the BJP spokesperson. You are the Trinamool Congress. You are representing a political analyst with sympathies towards Trinamool Congress. Do not have both the hats. Thank you. Now let me say what the victim's parents have said, and now let me quote the mother. Earlier I quoted the father, now I quote the mother. She, Mamata Banerjee, said that the culprit will be arrested as soon as possible, but nothing had happened. Only one person had been arrested. I am sure many more were involved in this incident. I think the entire department is responsible for the incident. The police did not do a good job at all, and I repeat, the police did not do a good job at all. I feel that's what the victim's mother is saying, that Chief Minister is trying to stop the protest. Today she imposed Section 144 here so that people cannot protest. On the Calcutta Police Commissioner, she quotes, they did not cooperate with us at all. Please note, they did not cooperate with us at all. They only tried to hush up the case as soon as possible. Their attempt was to get the post-mortem done as soon as possible and remove the body, which the eyewitness also told CNN News 18 in an exclusive interview. So what is Tawseef justifying? The entire attempt of Calcutta Police, Mamata Banerjee's administration, was not to provide justice but to ensure that it's a case of suicide, or only the accused who is arrested is the crime's accused. I have nothing more to say. It's an open and shut case.
You are defending CBI.
1 minute.
I am not justifying any event. I am asking what is CBI done.
If you were representing, Tawseef, you are a lawyer. If you were representing the victim's family today, will you be questioning the CBI or will you be questioning the Kolkata police and the absolute destruction and vandalism that was effected and enacted so that the emergency ward and also that particular area is destroyed? Will you be questioning the CBI or will you be questioning the principal of RG Kaur? Because why did he order immediate renovations when you know that entire area is under subject to investigation? And that too, and why did the Kolkata police allow him to go ahead with those renovations? And this person, tell me, will you or will you not question that this former principal, is he or is he not close to the powers that be in Bengal? Is he not one of the blue-eyed boys of the powers that be in Bengal? If you were the representative or the legal counsel of the family today, what are the questions that you will ask, Tawseef? Touch your heart and please tell me.
Anand, the allegation now is against Kolkata police that they have attempted to destroy the evidence. Am I correct? It has always been investigated by CBI.
No, yes, it has always been. It has always been. And last Tuesday, what was said by the Honorable Kolkata High Court? The day Mamata Banerjee said, I give you time till Sunday, that day the Kolkata High Court said, no, nothing doing. Next day, 10 a.m. Wednesday morning, hand it over to the CBI, including the case diary.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes,
whose action should be questioned?
So Anand.
And then on the day the investigation is handed over to the CBI, a mob suddenly turns up in the night, in the intervening night.
Yes.
Wow.
Anand,
and there is no coincidence. There is no coincidence. All right. Gentlemen, there are...
Let us be fair.
Yes.
CBI is investigating.
No. Be fair, sir. Sir, we all have something within us which is called a conscience, sir. We all have something within us which is a conscience, sir. Sir, I hope you are very honestly able to. Yes, you may have done your duty or your as somebody who's on the panel today, but as a legal counsel, someone with a certain amount of legal acumen, please also look at your conscience and say what is it that your conscience says. Because most of the lawyers today are out on the street. They are not here batting or
We are
defending
also
anybody.
out on the street.
Now,
I
out on
am
the street
also
for
part
what
of
is the question?
men-
No, thank you
men
very much. I have to
lawyers.
wind up. I have to wind up. I have to wind up.
Minister protesting against the Chief Minister. Wow.
No, I have to wind up. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, we do a deep dive on this entire lateral entry, ladies and gentlemen, where this entire quota fixation of the opposition doesn't seem to be on the wane. But are they overplaying this? Something for the good of policy and also enactment and governance. Is it deliberately being politicized? Stay with us.
I think women have had enough. We've been pushed around by the patriarchy for so long, and we're seeing it again. They took away Roe v. Wade, which I think a lot of women are mad at. I think we're mad at Project 2025. I think Kamala is just a breath of fresh air in the yuckiness of what we see from the other side so much. All the hate, the division, like who can we pick on next? You know what I mean? That's what it seems like to me. And this is like, no, we're all the United States. Let's be together and help each other. And that's why I support her.
I really liked Biden's Inflation Reduction Act, and I liked that other deal, that supply chain deal that he made, and the fact that she's just connected that, the fact that she has connective tissue and her cabinet has connective tissue to that makes me want to fully embrace her. But I also like her tax plans. I'm sure she's probably includes some similar plans to the student loan pauses that Biden has made, so I really like that too.
This campaign is about a recognition that, frankly, over the last several years, there's been this kind of perversion that has taken place, I think, which is to suggest that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, when what we know is the real and true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's what we see as strength. We know what strength looks like. That's what strength looks like. Anybody who's about beating down other people is a coward. Let's build community. Let's reinforce community. You all as volunteers, what you know, and we're going to spread the word, is how you can look at the face of a perfect stranger and see in their face a neighbor. That we see in each other our connection, our interdependence, what we see in each other, which fortifies and reinforces that the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. That's what this campaign is about. Yes, it is about winning, and we will win. And we will win. And we will win.
The war of words escalates between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party over the lateral recruitment scheme. The opposition And also leader of the opposition in Parliament, Congress MP Rahul Gandhi, has launched a fresh attack against the Prime Minister and his team, accusing them of undermining constitutional values. This comes after the Union Public Service Commission circulated an advertisement seeking applications for talented and motivated Indian nationals for lateral recruitment to the posts of Joint Secretary, Director and Deputy Secretary in 24 ministries of the Union Government. As many as 45 posts have been advertised for experienced individuals from the state and UT governments, research institutes, PSUs, universities and the private sector. The advertisement also states that all posts are suitable for persons with a benchmark disability. Rahul Gandhi has claimed that this move favors recruits linked to the RSS and is an attempt to bypass the Union Public Service Commission. Opposition parties have all come out all guns blazing against the government's decision for not having any reservations for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes candidates in lateral entry into the bureaucracy. Listen into some of the reactions.
तो ये तो मैं 1000 बार कह चुका हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी आरक्षण विरोधी पार्टी है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी पूरे देश में पिछड़ों का, दलितों का, आदिवासियों का आरक्षण खत्म करना चाहती है।
गांधी लगातार कहते आए हैं कि 90 सचिवों में से सिर्फ 3 ओबीसी हैं या रिजर्व कैटेगरी के हैं, तो उनकी बात सही थी और बैकडोर से संविधान बदलना शुरू कर दिया है इन्होंने।
Now here's what government sources claim. Concept of lateral entry was first introduced under the UPA government. Veerappa Moily-led panel, and the suggestions to introduce professionals from various sectors was made at that time, and it emphasized the importance of merit-based selection process. The system needed to hold lateral entrants accountable for work, but the scheme was formally introduced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So they made the recommendations. They said this is how it should be done. We've implemented it. That's what the government sources are telling us. Now let's first tell you about this entire lateral recruitment scheme. In Feb 2017, Niti Aayog presented its 3-year action agenda. The induction of personnel at management levels in central government was proposed. Lateral entrants would be part of the central secretariat. It will be a contract of 3 years, extendable to a total term of 5 years. The rationale was to help bring in fresh talent, lateral entrants bringing in new expertise and a fresh perspective in government departments, and that the position was open. First vacancies for lateral entrants were advertised in 2018. Joint Secretary level, Director level and Deputy Secretary level. So 15 years of experience, 10 years of experience, and at the Deputy Secretary, 7 years of experience. The appointments have taken place in 2019 and in 2023. Total about 63 appointments via lateral entry in the last 6 years, and at present there are 57 lateral entrants who occupy positions in ministries. So many of whom will be completing their 3 or 5 year contractual terms based on whether they've got an extension or not. So let's get into the whole story. Ishkaran Bhandari, advocate with us, Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst with us. My namaste and Jai Hind to our two guests. Thank you very, very much. Where is the opposition here, Tehseen? What's the problem?
The problem is that we already see that under this government, SC, ST, OBCs don't get their due. Pick up any state and let's have the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Let your viewers who are watching the show live Google, say for example, Uttar Pradesh. Let's see how many commissioners of police or SPs of district are from the SC, ST, OBC community, and you'll get the answer. How many DMs are? Let's look at courts where government doesn't have a role. How many Chief Justices of India have been from the SC community? Let's look at high courts presently. How many SC, OBC Chief Justices are there? And it's not that they aren't in courts. Let's look at central universities. How many vice chancellors in reserve posts are from the SC, ST community? Where there already exists reservation or chance of equality, there they don't get their due. Now with lateral entry, they are absolutely not going to get their due. The current SEBI chairperson, a lateral entry. You saw what she did. And let me ask you let me just make one last point. Actually, people have, because I'd gone to court against the EWS reservation, which Baba Saheb Ambedkar was against. Actually, what privileged people are doing are going on leave without pay, showing their salaries below the 8 lakh rupee mark and taking advantage of that reservation. That is the problem. The justice to our SC, ST, OBC citizens is not going through. And this is yet another example to marginalize the already marginalized who don't have a pie in the development of India.
Ishkaran
a share in the pie.
Anand, it's an unfortunate reality that people will oppose any good measure for politics, even though it benefits India. Let's deal with this. Firstly, this lateral entry aspect of this. There are fields like cyber communication. There are fields like cryptocurrency. There are fields, or one second, I'll just come to something different. The top 5-6 companies in the world today are operating in fields where any pre-2000 IAS officer may not have even studied. Be it Apple, be it Google, be it Tesla, be it Nvidia, be it AI which is coming, be it cryptocurrency, be it cybersecurity. And we have to compete with the world for Bharat to be strong. And that is a question mark on whether an IS itself alone, because of a colonial system, will deal with all these subjects, or government occasionally can have lateral entry into these domains which are expert domains and may not be suitable for a career bureaucrat to deal with it. There was a time when Congress used to be sensible, when it had lateral entries, no less than Dr. Manmohan Singh, no less than Dr. Montek Singh Ahluwalia, no less than in 2005, suggesting this is the way forward. But then they suffered electoral losses, and they realized that by stoking resentment in people, they may come to power. So even though it benefits India, even though every appointment by the government has to be as per the reservation policy as it applies on contractual services. These are contractual services for 3 to 5 years, as it applies if it's a single post, as it applies to disability, and whether there are any errors in how it is appointed. We recently had a case of Pune where there are allegations that disability certificates have been forged in an IAS selection. So those are a separate issue, whether somebody is showing less income or somebody is forging certificates. That has to be dealt, and that has to do with IAS itself. That is not to do with lateral entry. So errors exist in that system also. What is the end game the government is wanting? Very simply, there are certain fields where it needs experts from the private sector as well as PSUs. Those experts for 3 to 5 years will benefit Bharat and will enable it to compete with other nations which are having domain experts. That is all that has been done. But because of vote bank policy, Congress is going back on its earlier stands when it has had lateral entry, on its earlier stand when it recommended that this should be done in 2005. All BJP is doing what any sensible nation will do. New technologies, AI has just come in. I don't think so. Even you, me, anybody sitting here on IS officer would be very proficient with AI. So they have to have domain experts or India will be left behind. So if we don't want India to be left behind, we have to have the best person in the job in the paradigm in which our constitution exists, and they should stop trying to divide society or stop trying to fearmonger to protect India from developing to its fullest potential.
Tehseen Poonawalla, I have a very simple question to ask you.
Sure.
When it comes to capabilities which are perhaps not there in the current government system, that's why someone like a Bimal Jalan or a Montek Singh Ahluwalia, Ishkaran Bhandari took their name. Even Raghuram Rajan, all of them are lateral entries, including Sam Pitroda, V. Krishnamurthy. They are all lateral entries who came. Were they brought in because of their caste, because their identity, or because of their ability? In these cases, would you want meritorious people to come, or would you want to look at the surname first and not the qualification and the body of work?
Why do you think, Anand, with humility, that somebody from the SC, ST, OBC caste cannot be qualified? So if we, I'm not against lateral entry, but why can't we, Anand,
please come.
Why can't we have why can't we have a reservation? Why can't we have allow them to come in as well? We will not allow that. Where there already exists constitutional provisions. For example, if everybody is a professor in a university, why is it that there is no SC, ST equivalent to their population as vice chancellors in central government universities? Because they don't break the glass ceiling, or chief justices. Let me ask that question. Not even blame the government, because they don't break it. They don't have a share in the pie where there is already a reservation. Now, let me ask. This government has already been doing lateral.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Just allow me a 10-second intervention.
This government's already been doing lateral entry. How many of them are from the SC, ST,
but just allow me a small intervention.
Please.
Should you look at a person based on their ability or on their surname, sir? How does it matter what that person's background is? I don't care what their surname is. I just want a good person, a person with domain expertise. Gender doesn't matter, caste doesn't matter, ability matters. Can you contribute? And what are they saying? They are saying, if you want to come at a joint secretary level, you should have worked for 15 years. You may be from a PSU, from a state government, from a private company, wherever. If you want to serve the country, apply. If you follow the credits, if you follow the, if you meet the parameters, and if you're accepted, you're accepted. I'm not looking at a caste prism at all. I'm looking purely on a merit prism. Ideally, would you want everybody to have an equal chance? Isn't that the whole aspect of this whole reservation, that everybody should get an equal chance? Somebody 15 years of experience is already there, already has 15 years of experience. They're not looking, it's not their first job. Tehseen.
Again, let's again take the example of all the SPs in the state of Uttar Pradesh. They all have similar tenures, similar experience, similar in the IPS Uttar Pradesh service exam, and yet people from the SC, ST, OBC communities are not SPs of district. They get sideline posting. Only from particular caste BJP appoints. Why? That is the problem. If you're all equal, why don't they pick the caste?
Sir, this is under UPSC and
if you're all professors, please allow me.
Yeah, please come.
If you're all professors, why aren't you vice chancellors? Similarly, the lateral entry taken in by this government. Now, Ishkaran mentioned Montek Singh Ahluwalia, Manmohan Singh ji. They are all from minorities. Why doesn't this government get anybody from SC, ST, OBC? Look at the lateral entry. Look at, for example, the SEBI chairperson. She came from a private sector. Today, look at what she was up to. She was hand in glove. Instead of an IS officer, she was hand in glove. Are you going to call her meritorious?
One minute. You are opening yourself to libel and defamation because charges against her are not proved and the matter is sub judice. We don't take responsibility of what you say and say it with proof. And you please say it with proof. And what you are saying, you are only liable to this because you are making an insinuation, an allegation against a person who has a spotless record. And there is a deliberate attempt to defame her. That's the allegation. That's their counter. Let that matter be decided by the courts. Ishkaran Bhandari has a counter, but I just want to read this out. The Government of India has established guidelines to ensure lateral entries do not compromise the quota and reservation system. Department of Personnel and Training, DOPT, OM number 36012/11/2016. This order states that lateral recruits must adhere to reservation roster and maintain the prescribed ratio for SC, ST, OBC, PWBD candidates. This then gets extended, dated 15th of January 2019. This order clarifies that lateral recruits are subject to the same reservation criteria as regular recruits. Again on 22nd October 2019, this order is further underlined and says that the reiterates lateral entry should be in accordance with the reservation policy and roster maintenance. So the DOPT has already issued these notifications to ensure that lateral entries are done. So why till 2019? Because whenever the recruitments were done, those periods, 2016 and 2019 were when the recruitment have been done. Now their 3-year or 5-year contracts are coming to an end. So there will be another notification that will come from the DOPT. The DOPT will tell the respective ministries maintain the quota. Ye notification already hai, Ishkaran. So now, if this notification is already there, then what are you making a whole noise about? Yes, Ishkaran.
Anand, one shot. Tehseen, it's my turn now. You have had your say. Tehseen, you have had your say. It's my turn now. You have had your say. Let me now make my point because I want to fact check you on certain aspects. Allow me that one line. Sure. Tehseen, I wish you were not making an ideological point, but you were sticking to facts to say because somebody was a lateral entry, they are corrupt and allegedly corrupt, and if it was an IS officer, they wouldn't have been corrupt. Do you want me to read out lists of IS officer facing corruption charges or convictions in this country? What sort of an argument is that an IS officer may not be corrupt or a person from private sector may be corrupt? Please don't be believing big government so much when it's demonstratively against the facts. Read Prevention of Corruption Act and see the nth number of convictions of government officers under it. Some of them are corrupt, some of them are not. Some of the people in private sector are corrupt, some are not. So please do not make ideological points which are divorced from facts. Now coming to the second aspect of it. Ananda, I started in the debate by saying that reservation laws are well developed in this country. People approach courts daily. So as they are applicable in the facts and circumstances of this case, and you have read out certain notifications, they will be applied because they have to be applied. Otherwise, people will go to court and get orders from the court if they are not applied as they exist, and they're very well settled in this country. The third aspect which we have to deal is, because now a minority card has been played. Till now, nobody on this debate had seen Dr. Manmohan Singh, at least in the economic field, as an extremely competent person, or Dr. Montek Ahluwalia as a competent person. But now, because the minority card has been played, then was Congress at that time doing appeasement politics to bring in minority? And then that Prime Minister came and said the first right on resources belongs to minority. Where will we take our nation if we make these sort of arguments? The best person must come in small jobs which are jobs for which IAS may not be the best person to do. So please, in certain aspects, leave politics aside and think sometimes for the benefit of Bharat. And last point, because I don't have the list of SPs of UP, please tell me the list of SPs of various states ruled by Congress. Was the chief secretary from SC/ST community? When the Congress was in power, was the cabinet secretary? Was the principal secretary of which community? Because these debates, if you want to do, then first come with clean hands. Come with Rajiv Gandhi's statement on this. Come with Jawaharlal Nehru's statement on reservation. At least come with clean hands. Don't just try to divide society to get certain political benefits.
Right. One line is what you want to say, Tehseen. Yeah.
Of the 89 current entries in the union government, just 3 are STs and 1 is SC. I'm not even talking about OBC because they didn't qualify. 3 are STs, 1 is SC. Number 2, in the lateral.
Who are you quoting? These 89 people.
The government, government quote. I'm quoting.
No. So which batch? No. One minute. All these officers are from which batch?
But they are from previous batches. They are previous.
No. Which batch?
I'm getting into SC and ST.
No. I am saying which batch?
92.
From
prior to 92.
So from when was SC/ST quota and reservation UPSC and IAS came in?
Much before.
No. Which year? No. Which year?
Sir, one second.
Which year? So then you know the answer and you're still making an argument. When they are all before the time that reservations actually came into this, those subsequent batches are going to come into effect only now.
OBC, my friend. That's for OBC. I'm talking about SC. That is reservation since 1940-51. Can you please allow me to finish?
Okay.
I'm not talking about OBC. I'm talking about SC and SC. I know the OBC answer. I know that's BJP's defense. That's not what I quoted.
It's not a defense. That's a reality. It's fact.
Yes, but I'm talking about ST and SC. I was not talking about
OBC. The other thing. We have run.
In 2019, just one line. In 2019, Dr. Jitendra Singh, answering to Parliament, said of the total lateral entries that they took in 2019, despite the reservation being there, they got none from the SC/ST. He's answered Parliament in that.
They got none.
Nobody capable.
Yes. If they are not capable, if they don't meet the classification, you can't say it is bias. I'll tell you what has happened today. Till date, sir, I respected Dr. Manmohan Singh and I still do as one of the foremost economists and thinkers and somebody who took the nation to a path that we should have been right since the 1950s. He did that in the 1990s along with P.V. Narasimha Rao. Today, sir, you have put that lens of a minority and a Sardar there. You looked at him as a Sardar and a minority. I looked at him like the rest of the nation as an economist and someone who did yeoman service to this country. That's what the difference is, sir. So whose vision is colored? That's the answer you have to give to yourself. Yeah, you have to give that answer. Today, sir, you have reduced Dr. Manmohan Singh and his contribution to a minority and a seat. That's what you have done. We always held him in high esteem as an Indian who did this country proud. That's the difference, sir. That's where the lens is colored. I have to wind up on that note. Thank you, Ishkaran and Tehseen. Thank you so much. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another CNN News 18 exclusive, and this is a big development. Our security affairs editor Manoj Kumar Gupta getting us these details. That the adversary, the enemy on the other side, the one who's somewhere obsessed with bleeding Bharat with 1,000 cuts, has unleashed a proxy war. And this proxy war, again, it's fresh. It's been unmasked. It's in 3 stages. And it's a 3-front war against Bharat. The details. First up, 3-front war. These have been accessed by CNN News 18. Let's try and look at it in detail. What are the 3-front assaults? Intel sources are telling CNN News 18 that this is an all-out attack ahead of the Jammu and Kashmir assembly polls. Pakistan is fighting it on 3 fronts, or waging this on 3 fronts against Bharat. One, it's pushing for infiltration, terrorism, separatism. Now, it wants to start this entire separatist movement again in Jammu and Kashmir. Infiltration, over 400 terrorists are sitting on launch pads in Jammu and Kashmir. Entry of Jaish in new areas in eastern Jammu. Jaish has made new bases in Doda, Udhampur and Riyasi areas. April 2024, as of April 2020, 40 plus foreign terrorists entered and moved into the eastern side. New infiltration attempts or fresh infiltration attempts have been made from northern Kashmir. And we have also seen that there are terror launch pads at the Satwal top, Balawali, forward Kathua and the Batahalan areas, the Nikyal Kaman or the Kotli area, Tattapani, Kyoreta and Kot Kotera along with Kotli. So these are all the new launch pads which are there from their infiltrators, and they're desperate to push in foreign terrorists because local recruitments are at an all-time low in single digits, just about 5 or 6 till now, this year in 2024. The other one and the third aspect is their own soldiers, which is bat action. Along with that, they are trying to renew the entire separatist narrative. Separatist leader Mahmood Sehgar was removed by Pakistan. Sehgar removed because he criticized Pakistan. Mohammad Safi is the new separatist leader. Safi aims to give new life to this entire dead separatist movement in Jammu and Kashmir, and there's a fresh leadership that is continuously meeting people in POK region. They have contacted several people for support. These separatists have found no success, as most of the people in Jammu and Kashmir are averse to this. But we've had one of the political parties in their manifesto once again talk about Ek Desh, Do Vidhan, Do Samvidhan, trying to say that they will bring back all these false promises of bringing back Article 370. That's what Umar Abdullah spoke about, National Conference spoke about. Again, pipe dreams and devoid of reality. Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni is with us. Three-front wars, a former DG infantry. He's been in the thick of things. General Saab, Jai Hind, Namaste. Thank you very, very much, sir. Your thoughts, sir. Three fronts. Trying to push the narrative of separatism, trying to stoke unrest. 2, sending in these foreign terrorists to kill, maim, and Pakistani bullets, again trying to target innocent lives. And third, their own army trying to cross the threshold and enter in. These bad actions have resumed. Your thoughts, sir?
Anand, there has been no doubt about it. Pakistan has been doing it for long. I would say right from the day of its birth and even before, planning to do and destabilize India, because the very idea of Pakistan has been on a wrong footing, and therefore it cannot stand India doing better than Pakistan. And Pakistan has always been wanting to do infiltration, separatism, terrorist activities in India, push people, and of course the bat actions which Pakistan has been attempting on and off in India. Now, having said that, Pakistan is obsessed with India. The Pakistan army cannot imagine. It wants to tell its own people that without them, the nation wouldn't be able to survive, and that India is one which is going to destabilize Pakistan, not knowing that Pakistan is on a wrong footing. Yes, we have to be extremely careful, and there is no denying the fact, because infiltration is something which cannot be tolerated. Despite the fence, you can see for the various ways, the way it uses tunnels, it can even infiltrate from Nepal, it can use all kinds of means, even small little dingy boats to push into the rivers, across, and all that kind of thing. It does infiltrate, and there's no denying the fact that there are bases where the Pak is all set to push in these people and infiltrate them into India. The separatists, yes, there's no, again, on and off. As I said, south of Punjab, there have been attempts, because everybody thought that this was a peaceful area for the last about 2.5 decades, since I commanded my battalion in Doda, and I know for sure, because I commanded at a time it was at its peak, 96 to 99. I know what it really means and what it was then, and how things are now. What has happened, Anand, is there are unfortunately people within the country who are rather, I would say, overground workers, sleeping with the enemy, and then there are political parties in India which seem to encourage them by giving statements which are not correct. Every one of us must be on the same page to say these kind of activities are wrong. You cannot be sold out for 6,000 bucks in small thing. Even some people, the way we come out, even Article 370, it's abrogated. It is abrogated. It's passed in the Parliament. Nobody has a right to say here and after that we will reinstall it, we'll bring it back. What does that show? That shows that this kind of separatist activity is there in the minds of some people within India, which obviously the enemy, Pakistan, is using terrorism.
But the counter to that, General Sahab, I'm interrupting you. The counter to that is that let the people reject it. Let these people try and use this kind of a narrative, and let the Awam of Jammu and Kashmir reject it outright by the force of their ballot. That's one thought process, that unless the Awam openly rejects it, it will not be treated as a failure. That's one school of thought. The other school of thought is that तिरंगे के नीचे रहकर आप तिरंगे का नुकसान नहीं कर सकते. That's the thought, saying that you have to abide by the tiranga and the constitution, and anything that is away or breaking away or trying to push a separatist, secessionist narrative that will perhaps hurt the tricolor should not be allowed in political discourse at all. So which do you agree with?
see, there is no denying that sleeping with the enemy is you are not entitled to, and you should not. If should you indulge in it, you should be seen as acts of treason and should be punished. There is just no doubt about that. And as to what you were saying in the first instance, see, there are instances of these kinds which will come to the notice, and we have to ensure that these kind of, under no circumstances, Anand, these kind of activities should be allowed within the country. Anybody indulging in these kind of activities. Now, what you said, the people. Now, if that engineer,
Rashid engineer,
elected to the parliament with over 4.5 lakh votes, what does that show? That despite all the best that we've done, whether it is in terms of tourism, economic activity, all of it that has been done, ultimately Omar Abdullah was defeated by none other than Rashid engineer, who was lying.
Yeah, but sir, on ground, I'll tell you what, the narrative that was pushed was jail ka badla vote se. So the whole narrative spread by his two sons was that if Rashid engineer becomes a parliamentarian, then he will have to be sent out of jail. So that was a false narrative, or let's say a false flag. But those are the things that are being pushed on ground, whereas the projection itself is different.
Yes, absolutely. Look, see, until and unless, like fish cannot stay without water. Similarly, the terrorists, anywhere inducted into India, cannot stay without the local support. The local support comes only because they are being,
these kind of narratives
I would say, being helped by the local, and those local people are helped by the politicians. As a result of which, you find this kind of. What is Article 370? Article 370 instills that separatist attitude into their mind. That has to be done away with. And Article 370 has been abrogated. Everybody must stand.
So you're saying don't just abrogate and delete it from the constitution. It has to be deleted, control or delete from public memory and public discourse also, or political discourse also. General Sahab, I've run out of time. I thank you very much. Always a pleasure speaking with you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jai Hind.
On that note, we're going to wind up this edition of The Right Stand. Brass Tacks with Zaka. Up next, stay with us.
Co-powered by Nick.
I will not speak for him, but I will tell you that these conversations are ongoing and we are not giving up. And we are going to continue to work very hard on this. We got to get a ceasefire and we got to get those hostages down.
Thank you, President.
To be a leader and to be a role model